UpperCut. Design media. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Do I have to share a screen in here too? Is that gonna work? Let's see. Try that. Is that working?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Cool. So first things first, I just want to look at the poll. See where that ended up. In the announcements channel. Let's see. So the most voted thing was alternate decks. What? And then
I think we're a bit late.
Oh, on Discord it's delayed? I'm not streaming. Wait,
I don't know. Keep going. Keep going, no worries.
There we go. Alright, that's on. I'm managing 2 streams right now. There we go. Alright, Discord stream and the OBS stream is working. Alright, so the number 1 vote was alternate decks, and then ultimate supers. And then a bit behind that is tech cards, equipment, and scaling frame incentives.
Yeah, scaling frame is the one that people didn't like as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I kind of figured. But cool.
To be fair though, as well, like once people understand more like how the mechanics work, maybe those might sound more appealing. But those are things that we can always keep in our back pocket for later.
Definitely. Yeah, I think alternate decks is a pretty easy win.
Yeah, for sure. It's even simpler than the super bar with the initial implementation, at least.
So yeah, I wrote up a quick alternate decks doc, just to kind of get an idea. Pretty straightforward. If anyone has any ideas of archetypes, that feel free to let me know or add something or whatever. I think it's pretty good. I think because it's something that's like purchasable with in-game currency, premium currency. It's really good. We can keep scaling it and adding more things.
I have an idea, I guess, or a question. If we do alternate decks, do the alternate decks change do they change any other stats from the character, right? So do they change the draw count? Do they change the health? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's see.
Or the question is, if we have something that changes those values, can you pick mix and match? Oh, I want this character stats with this deck archetype, or is it linked? It's a question.
Card draw. Starting card. Yeah, that's true. Because especially if we have characters with different of that anyway, would that apply to all their different starting decks? And it would. Yeah, that's something we'd have to look at too, because for example, if it did this deck where your deck is only one ofs, that's a lot different than other ones.
If you have a defensive one, maybe you want a little bit more health, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or the other way around, maybe the aggressive one, you need a bit more health so you can be more on top of it. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. I think an interesting thing too within this though is for the aggressive decks, something like multiple copies of key cards that were normally only one ofs, and then if there's signature option cards, those could even be removed completely. So Like we could bring card counts to 0. So not even just like, you know, adjusting counts between whatever, like 1 and 3. We could zero things out.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I meant as well when I was talking yesterday, and I said that maybe some cards only show up in certain decks, right? Because again, if we design the characters to have like one extra pressure and one extra option card, for example, right? Yeah, I know it's more animations and more stuff like that, but if it's part of the original design, it's like whatever, right? And then some of them only show up in certain decks, and I think that's cool.
Like offensive
because in my opinion, that gives it more.
Yeah, keep going.
Sorry. Yeah, for example, like the Blizzard, the ice thingy, like the one that was like the one that was like a 9 turn that basically just freezes the entire turn. We have a 0 count on that one now on the Notion page, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'm not even working on it. Like I haven't even told Alexa to do the art for it, right? But I'm assuming if we ever did want that card or something like that, right? That's kind of the thing. No?
Yeah. I think that'd probably be something that would be like one of in the starter deck, but then in like the aggressive deck, probably like 0, and then like in this same idea, like for the defensive deck for Blizzard, you could do no avalanches, and then the only way you can consume your impales is like landing the ice block, and you get like an extra ice block too. So then you're always trying to land like the frame 3 ice block to consume your impales instead of the avalanches.
Yeah. That's cool.
Or the other way around, like the aggressive deck doesn't have any ice blocks. So like key stuff, like for I don't know, for tower, like doesn't have the thing that doubles his armor, less blocks, but then, you know, the defensive one has like multiple of those, but then maybe doesn't have any like whirlwinds or something like that, right?
But are you suggesting, for example, because I know you have like like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6, 7 archetypes here, right? Are we suggesting that they all have every single one of these archetypes, or are we just being like, hey, we have 4, and then these are just 7 ideas?
I mean, these are roughly ideas. They'll all have a starter one. I think like across the characters, they should probably follow similar archetypes. I think that's the easiest. So like I feel like everyone should have like the aggressive one or the defensive one or something. I mean, the 1 of 1 is easy to do. I don't know how this like 2 of 1 would play. This one's probably like pretty close to your standard deck list, so it might not even be that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that one as much. I think I think the 1 of sounds more interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just gonna get rid of it.
I'll think of other ideas if I can.
High mobility could be interesting, where like you don't really have blocks and you're basically hoping to just like weave in and out of everything.
I have a dumb idea, but I think we can write it down. Maybe for a game or something. But what about a random?
Yeah, that's true. That'd be good for like a game mode. Yeah, as you said.
It's like, okay, cool. Like you start with like it's like 12 on 12, but we'll pick 12 random pressure cross, 12 random option cards.
Just 12 uppercuts.
Well,
Hearthstone does some fun modes where they like you build a deck of like 2 cards or 3 cards, and then it puts like 10 copies of that in your deck. But that has full like deck building. It's not random.
I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah. Because Ultimate's for another one, I'll start on a dock for that. When I can here and there.
Wait, but cards from other characters.
Or like mixed and matched cards from other characters. That gets
I think that's weird though.
That gets a little bit more problematic, I think, in our
because again, if you
also just
like I think like if but if I get a card as well, it's like, hey, do whatever 2 damage, and then if you have Impale 4, it's like, well, but if I only have that one and don't have a card to do Impale, then it makes no sense.
Yeah, or you turn around.
Yeah, turning around doesn't do anything. Yeah.
You get Tower without any turnaround cards.
Oh, you know one idea or a thing that we never did, but I think it's weird because of Tower specifically, which is the alternate hero powers for characters.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is that Tower needs to turn around.
he doesn't need it, but yeah.
Because he can use cards.
There is like a
anything?
decent bit of cards that have it. I wouldn't say he
I guess.
needs it, but he does suffer more than you know, he the other characters don't need like a heal too, right? Or gain armor too.
But you know what I mean, like we have a way to select the hero power and have a different hero power, so we never put it as a poll like being able to pick your hero power, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, another random thing by the way, is what if as part of the deck as well, right? You know the stats that we said that we can change? What if the stats that we can change?
What do you mean? What stats?
So if you come back to the document, go back.
Like this?
Yeah, there, like the what if the movements change? So like the movement actions, right? So what if like now you move 2 every time that you move whatever, like all your move left, move right, or move 2 left, move 2 right, for example. Or in the aggressive one, you can only I don't know if we can do that actually. I was gonna say you can only move towards the opponent, but we don't actually have that. Like that's not an action to move towards.
Yeah, but like this one could have you move too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant though. Like that one can have you move to. Maybe that only lets you like move to in your facing version, like the facing idea.
We could tie
we can determine the face.
You could tie the hero powers to the archetypes too.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the movement one would do like move to left, right. We could add like the aggressive one gives you like it could move you and like empower one or something like that. I don't know. If we wanted to go that route.
But shouldn't this go under your power though? But you're right.
Should go what?
You're putting it under movement actions.
Yeah. Days.
Oh, okay. Go. Okay.
Like for brawler, defensive one could armor up and I don't know. Give you more armor, stuff like that. Some more ideas. This one might be a little tricky.
Like a hero power block. Like a hero power block can be really strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we can basically put any card.
We have
no
hero power block.
Yeah, and it can be just a block that doesn't have any success, but it's kind of cool that you just have like a free block every time you return.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. Something to explore for sure. Alright.
Yeah, luckily these are like low scope things that we can like test without too much effort.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we tie the hero power to the deck at the moment, so that would like require a little bit.
No, they're completely separate. They're completely separate. As in, like you can pick, mix and match. That's the whole idea.
But if we wanted it to be assigned with the deck, then we'd have to do something.
Well, then we can have like some place later, like that. Like we can have like a scriptable object or something that is the one that says like, hey, this one has this hero power with this thing, and this. We have an association somewhere, right? But we can pick different. Like because we can pick different things here. It means that we have the ability to do it, right? We just need to have like an association somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jason was very diligent in making sure that everything was disconnected.
Woo, Jason! See here.
What? What did I do?
Oh, that you were very like adamant and diligent to making sure that the fighter was not linked to the hero power, and was not linked to the deck, and was not linked to the anything. So like everything can be mixed and matched.
Well, I mean, some things that we've been talking about here are going to be higher scope than others, right? Like, so modifying like health and like certain values, but in association with a deck, I mean, that's going to have to be rethought, and like things if we want to go down that route. That's all.
No, but what I would think is that we have like a deck archetype scriptable object, right? And we say, hey, deck archetype, brawler aggressive, and then you assign a deck You assign a hero power, you assign a fighter data, and then you just have multiples of those, and then all you have to do is load a single deck archetype class, single object, whatever.
It's just two
that
rules.
is basically constructed of the things that we already have.
Potentially, but the way they're linked to game modes right now and things like that, they have to think through that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So yeah, let's see.
Anything else on the agenda? I have the blocking thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up this real quick. So we were discussing some term renames ideas. Just generally speaking, the goal is to rename terms to be more intuitive for newer players, as well as to add more flair to our game where possible. So if a term is more too generic, then maybe we can find something that is more interesting for our game, as well as if a term is too like specific and nuanced, maybe we streamline it more and make it something more similar to other games, or something that makes it more obvious what happened, or better conveys like what's happening. So for example, one of the biggest ones is interrupt. We're thinking of changing it to like stun. Kind of the idea is that you're just stunned for the next 1, 2, 3 frames, whatever it is. Interrupt is, I guess, a little bit confusing.
Yeah, because at the moment, interrupt is one of the strongest. Well, actually, no. A lot of the cards that block things just block the entire card, which is like good because it's consistent. But yeah, interrupt it just blocks any card, right? Regardless. So
yeah, compared to like destabilize or root.
Actually, does interrupt block actions? I don't think he blocks actions.
It doesn't do weights at the moment. That's
Only
the only
weights?
thing.
But does it block your powers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think we were talking about
But if it is more like a stun, it would just block everything. Well, it's not even that it would block anything. It would just like so like okay, it's a bit of a functional change. So like the current interrupt idea, I guess, is like it blocks the next card you played was kind of what it was going to be, or what it is, as opposed to
then the card
which meant like if you waited. Yeah, if you waited, what would happen? If you got interrupted and then you waited and then you played a card, would it interrupt that card, or would it get used up in your wait frame? And I think part of the old version was that it would wait till your next card was played. But that was also before grid.
Oh, okay.
Because it was more just like you would stack actions as much as you could. So there was always you couldn't fill in gaps like that really, right? Or you could play a wait, but
again, I think we can test it because I don't know which one's better. Yeah. I think both work. We just have to pick one.
Yeah. So the next, we'll test it probably next week, Tuesday internally, because I have the changes locally at the moment. But it'll be more like it'll just block anything for the next frame. So part of the way you could play around that then is like, oh, you think I'm gonna get interrupted there, then maybe you just wait there and then you don't lose your card.
Okay. Hey, let's get
Mist is kind of generic, and whiff is like a pretty good fighting game term for that, so we were leaning towards that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. I already changed that one too. Frame, so I mean it's gonna be pretty, just as a general rule, these are all like pretty outward facing, like player facing stuff, so we're not really going to be changing internal names, and we'll probably still refer to them by their internal name that we're used to just by habit. But something like frame isn't necessarily that explicit, I guess, because it's not quite like a frame. It's more than one frame in like a fighting game.
It's actually a sequence of actions if you think about it, because every card has multiple actions and then they all execute.
Yeah.
It's like a moment in time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's more than just like a still. It's like a couple things, and it varies, right? Sometimes it's like just a move, right? But other times it's a whole lot more.
Yeah, that's my point.
So like action, I don't know, attack, move.
Yeah, my
card,
problem
if
with
there's
action is that it
anything better.
implies a single action. You know,
It's true.
it might be more than one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And move, obviously, we actually move, so it's complicated. But it is technically like a fighting game move.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
we could just call it card, but yeah. Another thing is multi-frame cards, kind of in the same vein. Like we're going away from the term frame.
Yeah.
Plus, it's kind of a mouthful. Kind of like the idea of like calling them just like combo cards. Because we still want them to be like their own card, like a different color and stand out more and everything.
Mm-hmm. I like the alliteration of combo card.
Yeah. Chain or chain combo is like a fighting game term, so is string. I pinned some glossary of fighting game terms here, some other card games has keywords. Yeah, I brought up the idea of option card changing. We like pressure, for sure.
Yeah, pressure makes sense.
Option, it's okay. It is. I think it has decent.
Nah, it's gotta go.
Okay, you don't like it.
Like explaining it to people at PAX, like pressure card was super clear, and then I was like, option card, you had to like say what it
This
was.
could be like
couple
tech
times.
too. But yeah, that's.
I don't hate tech card, actually.
But that also has that connotation of like this is like an extra card I put in my deck to like deal with this matchup or anything. But I also like it.
Yeah, we can rename that differently.
Yeah, but I don't hate it.
All three of those I think are fine. Tech is coolest, but if we want to use it later, then because I do see the utility of it later. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, another one is card failed, prevented. Like what the wording on that? Tech.
My problem with
this
counter
was like a fighting
is
game
counter.
term. Yeah, and counter is like a fighting game and card
It
game
implies that
term.
you return it, but counter
Yes.
implies that you return the damage. That's why I don't like.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it as much either. I put question marks against the ones that are like less sure of. Because this is
What
in
what
a
is
card
the card
game, this
fail?
would be like a counter. Pretty.
When does a card fail? Like what's context? in
Like
which
if you
we-
got destabilized or interrupted or rooted or something.
Wouldn't we just say that? Rooted, destabilized, interrupted, and that's why it didn't work.
That's fair.
Because like, yeah, just we don't even have to say failed. It has a big X on it, so it's clear it didn't work, and then we can say why. And actually, that would add to the clarity a lot.
Yeah. It's not bad. That's probably better than the other ones. Currently it says prevented. For context. Rooted. So the only reason I thought about this was that I feel like root kind of conveys an inability to move, but you can still be pushed around, which is like an intended mechanic of it. So rooted is more about like I myself can't do movement actions. So I was just thinking, is there something that maybe conveys that a little bit better, or like maybe that's not really a problem. Maybe it's not that weird that you can push someone that's rooted. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on
Is that intended though? Do we want to? Because do we actually want to move
I
people
think
that are
that
rooted?
I think it was intended. Otherwise, you could get like stuck in the corner if you like root. Like you could trap yourself, or like I don't know. Rooting somebody would be kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, we could play with it.
That's fine. I just
Try
don't know.
without.
I was just asking.
Yeah, it's something I thought about a little bit. I thought it was weird at first too. I thought it was a bug that you could push, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's fine.
Ooh,
No.
actually, no.
Mhm.
Sorry. I was just thinking for the stabilized.
Mm-hmm.
What if for that one we actually use days or DC? Because the whole point of this is like you can't play option cards, right?
Yeah.
When you're destabilized. So yeah, if you're like, or how do you call it when you're like, yeah, I guess days, right?
Yeah. I don't hate it. Yeah, I think destabilize is like pretty flavorful, but it's a bit wordy. It's a bit long on like card text on text pop up and whatnot. So that was kind of the main reason I was considering changing it, but like off balance or imbalance or whatever, those aren't necessarily that much better. So days dizzy or staggered. Any of these if we don't. Yeah, what were you saying?
So okay.
Another thing too would be
like,
something that ties into the option card rename better, because you know these specifically prevent your option cards, right? So if there was something that like tied those together well.
Yeah, well, the reason why I said this in days or whatever is mostly because like when I see option cards, I think of like movement, or I think of defensive, right? So if you're dizzy or whatever, it's a lot harder to like move and be defensive. I guess you can still technically attack because you can just like, you know, launch like a wild attack while you're dizzy, but blocking or moving is a lot harder in that state. That's why I thought of.
Yeah.
That.
No, I don't hate it. That's why I put it here.
I think dizzy sounds funny. Stagger sounds like you can't do anything because, you know, when you're staggered, it's hard to do anything at all. I think daze is
That's
the
fair.
coolest out of these, but that's just my opinion. I guess dazed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that would be my vote in this dinner.
Yeah, I like it. What would... Is there anything that kind of fits with the option card idea then? I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
From that, from UpperCut, I like utility and tech. I don't like assist as much. I just put it because I figured it made the sense, but I think utility and tech are the better ones.
Alright. Another thing is just like what the general game board is called. Kind of goes back to like what the frames are. Calling it like the turn sequence or action sequence or action queue or something like that.
The other thing that I think is like a plan, right? How do we convey that it's your plan of attack kind of thing, you know, like, but it's not too long, obviously.
I gotta be right back. Oh god.
I feel like attack sequence, but that's like too long. But like in that vein,
yeah, it is.
What is your battle plan? Like, what's your smacky do?
Is there like a one-word thing for battle plan? Ooh. Okay, wait. For option card, I found a good name just randomly. What if it's a tactic card?
Oh, that sounds way better. Yeah. But then we might start having team fights, and it's gonna become a problem. But yeah, I like that actually better than all the other ones so far.
I'm looking at synonyms of like battle plan. It's like tactic, scheme.
Battle scheme. We could call a game that.
Well, one of the ideas, I don't know if you know this, but like one of the original ideas was whenever we were planning the turn, what you would do is you would zoom into like your character's like head a little bit, and then like a little bubble would show up on top, and that's where like you place your cards. You know, like a thought bubble.
Yeah, and then all the cards would be in the thought bubble. Like you zoom in, and that's the UI.
Yeah, kind of. That was a
thought bubble.
Ooh, what is this specifically though? Because I found another cool word, which is a Gambit card
We can't use
for option
Gambit.
card? Why not?
Because, I mean, we can. It's just
Because we can only take one lawsuit on one game.
exactly.
Wait, but are you talking like the X-Men Gambit or like Queen's Gambit or like what do you mean?
Gambit. It's a joke. It's not.
Huh?
I'm not actually concerned, but it does associate it with chess, which is maybe not even a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, there's. You want to know what the synonyms are? Synonyms are ruse, gimmick, or flim-flam.
A flim-flam.
So I propose
Sorry.
flim-flam card. Yeah, a flim-flam card.
I propose we at least call it that internally. Like that's the.
Oh, I think Sandra crashed or something. I don't know.
There's
Or if you be
military
talking, Sandra, you're muted. So
operation
I don't know where you
plan.
are.
Military does military operation plans. Like these could be your punch operations. Not great.
Sandra, you know.
Could be
Ooh,
losing.
what if we call the? What if we? Yeah, a while ago.
Wait,
What if we call the
happened?
game board the oath? I pledge that I'm gonna do this.
Your pledge? You could do that. There could be a character that like they make an oath, and that means they will always do the attacks. Like,
Wait. I have. What if you have a character that plans 2 turns ahead every time or something?
like that could be that character. He could like. He
I don't know
takes an oath.
how you would do the first one. Yeah, but I don't know how you would do the first turn though. I think that's there.
I mean, you just do the first turn, and then when you hit submit, it would clear, and you get to do it again. It'd be a 2-part submission. But yeah, that'd be wild. Actually,
Oh, so
That's kinda cool.
so you plan 2 turns at a time. That would be cool if you can plan
Yeah.
2 turns at a time.
Or yeah, you plan 2 turns ahead. So like the first one you do 2, or no, the first one you don't get to go the first
Yeah, you do
time.
2, and then the next one you don't do anything. But then the third turn you do 2 more.
Yeah, no.
I think Sander had a big issue because yeah.
Planning
Turn
a invasion terms.
It's fine, I'm here. Okay, so we said utility, what did I say? Gambit, what was the other one? Tactic? Is that what I said? No, it wasn't tactic, it was something else.
Option cards could be called defensive measures.
No, I had a cat card, whatever. Logistics.
Logic cards.
No. What was the other thing that
I'd
we were
actually
talking about?
accept logic cards. Like they're logic cards. They're not punchy cards. They're logic cards.
Yeah, we have brawn versus the other thing. What's it called? Brains. Brawn
Yeah.
cards on brain cards.
Yeah, we're
Ooh, I see the
Survivor
mouse
now.
I saw the mouse moving a little bit. Hi, Sander. Are you back? What happened?
Oh hi.
Hello.
We did respond. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Because that's then we can still have tech cards.
You gotta ruse. You gotta. I don't know. Let me think. Because it should be. This one is one of the ones that should be flavorful, right? Like, what does it mean to it's like we can say something like gain initiative or something like that. You know, like. You were close the first time. You got it. Oh, like stamina. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. And to be fair, yeah, and one thing though, like if we do call it, for example, I'm not saying we should, but if we call it initiative, right? Whenever we have the description of the character, right, we can say like starting hand 3, initiative 2. That means that he draws 2 cards every turn. And then if you do, you know, initiative, yeah, and then if you have an initiative thing, then it's like, okay, well now you know you have initiative 3, which means you're gonna draw 3 cards, and that's how you handle it, I guess. Right? No, this is not the starting hand. This is starting draw. Yes, yes. Um. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. The game board one is hard, but yeah. Yeah, just okay. You know. Action plan isn't terrible if you think about it. Like, if we call a thing an action, then you have an action plan. Because sequence is too long. Is my point. Yeah, but then we also get into yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I know it's an engine side, I guess. So. Oh, yeah, sure enough. Yep, you have to click the other one, I think, right? um. Again, the only other thing that I want to talk about is the block thing, right? Leave spaces. I want to see what happens with the space. Like, put spaces where like, yeah, leave a gap where like only one player is playing a card there, and not the other. You know what I mean? Yeah, but at the same time, like the only thing that's bad, sometimes they go over the player now, which is also annoying. But I guess if we move the camera, we can make sure that that doesn't happen, and we can still show the characters, and it's a placement thing. Yeah, see, like there, it's covering the characters, right?
Oh, this is sweet. Sorry, I went to the restroom. This is awesome. Nice.
I have an idea. Well, what?
Oh, and have it up there.
Can I have another? Can we put it under, like literally under them? Like play again.
So for mobile, I think we want to do it under them. Like on mobile, like like at that aspect ratio. Yeah.
Yeah,
right
like
under
they
them.
fit perfectly there.
Like on PC. Yeah, on PC it would be cool to have it on top. But I don't know if we want to have that much differentiation between the.
And again, remember, like the reflections out and whatever. That's whatever, because like the cool things as well. Like whenever we want to actually show it, can be whenever you do the replay, right? So on replay, we're not going to show the cards. We're not going to show any UI during replay. It's just going to be animations back to back.
Gotta get real good animations for that. Yeah, the problem with this is that they're so far apart visually that you can't really see what's being versed. Because I'd really love the animation where they like smash into each other and one of them wins.
Oh yeah.
So like.
Yeah, I know. But that rarely happens though. That actually doesn't never happen this time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in this case, you're drawing attention away from the fight. I mean, I think that's why we picked the background.
No,
Well, it's already not readable too, right? Like if it's up for like even a couple of seconds, right? I mean, I have to move my eyes from the left to the right, and by that time, it's like the cards are nearly gone, or the animation.
I'm a big supporter of them being on top or on the bottom. I don't know which one is like higher on that list. Yeah, we would move the camera up or down to make room for it. On mobile, it felt pretty clear that it should be on the bottom, but on normal, yeah, 1080p, more questionable. Yeah, I kind of.
I am a fan of them. Like, okay, so this is my thought is that I'm a fan of them slamming together in the background, and they're a little bit bigger, right? And then they also like. You see the last 2 to 3 cards on each side that each player played, and they progressively are faded out more and more. So it's like you can't. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Because the thing is, like, the cards have to be close together somehow at some point, like, or it's like you're just like beside the screen.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna make a mock. I'll make a mock in Photoshop of what I'm thinking. No, so like the same idea we're trying, like, so below them, right? So, yeah, we show 2 cards, right? And then we like, scoot them, show 2 cards, scoot them, show 2 cards, scoot, and we just keep scooting them, right? I want to see what it looks like. I think, again, 3 might be top, but, Yeah, so like, yeah, they moved that way. Yeah, and then you show 2 more, and then 2 more, and then we fade them. I think at 3 because we don't want that many. Yes, basically. And then when you get to the edge, you just like disappear it, and yeah. Yeah, I like that idea actually. Yes. We need to figure out where. I think we have a lot of attacks that go up more than attacks that go down. So that's why I like down.
The problem with the top is like we have the health bars, don't we?
Yeah, we have the health bars as well. Yeah, so we don't want to. Also, you know that paint?
You're already used to the cards being down there too, like for the queue, roughly. So.
Oh yeah, good point. But yeah, do you know that regular paint has layers now? Apparently. I don't know.
More team fight. So having it where you played the cards, or like, because then the little cardboard could just move down a little bit, and then the fight is like happening on that board or something. Maybe not that, but that makes me kind of feel like the cards should be on the bottom, I guess. Oh, there you go.
Also, random thing, by the way, Sandra, but when we play the card, we should have an outline. If a card was played during a frame incentive, to say like, oh, this card is enhanced somehow by the frame incentive.
Oh yeah.
I think that would help as well.
Yeah. Hearthstone feels very dynamic. Like everywhere you touch, something happens. Which I don't think we'll get to that level, but like, yeah, having little sparkles where you're moving around or when you mouse over something, I think adds a lot. But it adds less on mobile though, because on mobile you don't mouse over things, you just tap. So you just need good tap feedback on mobile.
But what if I have fat fingers? I don't see the feedback. I cover it.
Then you don't see the feedback. Then we need camera shakes. That's the only solution.
Yeah, we have 8 minutes. Do we want to do the block thing real quick? We talked about it already, kind of, but I just wanted to like bring it up again. But basically, for context, originally, right? Block. Whenever you apply block, you would apply a block buff to your character, right? And actually, you can even stack it, I think. So you can have like 3 blocks, so then it's 3 attacks you would just simply block, right? The problem with that thing is I never liked that you can be attacking while blocking, right? Because if you block 1 frame and then the next time you attack and then they attack you, the block goes off, but you also attack them, you know? So I never liked that. Yeah, I never liked that design. Now, the second design was, hey, well, the one we have right now, which is like, hey, we just block that 1 frame and that's it. The problem is like all our block cards are like, hey, block, and then you have a no success. But the problem is we never block without succeeding, right? You either block or you don't block. You know what I mean? So we keep losing that whole like perfect block mechanic or like counter mechanic, which I think is really cool. So the idea is, if you play a block card, it blocks until the first attack hits it and breaks the block, or until your next action, right? So if I block frame 1 and I don't do anything for 3 frames and then I put frame 4, I can technically block a single attack during those 3 frames. If I block on the exact same frame that I get attacked, then it's a perfect block. Any other, I just block but I don't get an extra effect. I think that's just the best of both systems, in my opinion. But that's why I want to test it. Just check that at the moment. Alright, Shanka? It's fine. I mean, so click play, and I'll show you when they in the game, I guess. And you can just pause. Yeah, can you play the game? Yeah, you just run the game so that I can ask you to do something real quick. And it's fine. You just play with the host. You don't have to play with things. Yeah, you're showing Rider. That's what I'm saying. Just click host. Yeah, I can now. Okay, so can you put a card on frame 1 and a card on frame 4, please? Then just pause. Any card, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so pause. No, just pause. Pause, sir. Not. Yeah. It don't matter. Yeah. Okay, and then pause. And just pause. Just pause though, so we can actually talk about it. So I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. So if someone attacks you frame 1, right? You obviously gain 2 armor or 3 armor, whatever. But if they don't attack there, but they attack in frame 2, you block. And then if I attack in frame 3, you get hit because your block was consumed on frame 2. And yeah, you know what I mean, right? Basically, like you keep blocking until you get attacked or until you do an action. I think the difference is we never had the thing where like if you do another action because we didn't have frames, right? We didn't have like you had to play a card back to back. We couldn't do that. But now that we have frames, I think we can. And yes, it makes blocks more powerful. But it also makes them like less guess game, as in like you can be better plan like, hey, I know I'm gonna block something from here to there at least, right? Which is nice. If I perfect land it, then great, I get an extra attack. But if not, I'm still like a little bit safe, and then I can just play the rest of my turn. I don't know. I think it makes it more fun. Mm-hmm. Yes, but you don't know, like, yeah, but if you don't have much to play, right? You can just be like, hey, I know, or like, or the other way around. Like maybe you played it where the back pedal is, right? So it's like, hey, I don't have anything. I'll just block that over there, and if I get attacked there, cool. If not, I have 2 frames of like safety. I mean, at least 1 attack will land there. But again, my main issue is, I think it's weird. Yeah, my main issue is I think it's weird that the success on block, it's like you either block and succeed or you don't block and you don't succeed, right? There's never like the whole perfect block mechanic, which is like, oh, I landed the block exactly in the correct frame. Yes, that's exactly what yeah, that's the thing. We have no blocks. We have parries in that game right now. We only have parries. We don't have a single block. Yeah, it blocks until you block until the next. Yes. Oh, also, it does. Yeah, maybe we do some ghost cards or something. Yeah, we do. I have an idea by the way. But yeah, this actually opens up one possibility by the way, which is we can actually have a block 2 card. You know what I mean? No? Like if you put it there, you would block 2 attacks within those 3 frames. Oh, on the place where you actually placed it, like the very first one. I don't know what would happen if you blend down the very first one. Like, do you consume both or do you consume only one? That's the only one that I would. I would need to think about it. I just said it out loud there. But... Oh, but I have an idea that what you can do is you can design a card that. But you can design a card that is block, wait, block, right? So you can technically perfect block the first one, or the middle one is a regular block, and then you have another block of the third one. You know what I mean? Like a very defensive card in that sense. So you have two perfect timings, and a timing in the middle where it's not. Yes, that's basically what it is. Yeah, that's basically what it is. But you can't extend me however you much. Yeah. It's more like it's more like extended. I think it's very close to the what we want. We really want to extend it for this reason, right? But extending just it's a other kind of worm, so we didn't want to open back then. So anyway, we can test it. I think it's not hard to test because all you have to do is basically on card, play it or whatever. Then you consume block, you reset block or whatever, and then yeah. Anyway. I think that's time, by the way. We should go and prepare for a playtest. So yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, there you go. Bye.
Because I can't put a breakpoint in this fucking function because it's fucking. Oh, it's over.
You guys just rage quit it.
I heard flip flam and I'm fucking out.
I offer up my ideas and you use them as your own. I'm gone. See ya.
Which idea? Center. We need to, or I can, but we need to update all the cards in the Notion page to have the correct tokens with the new thing that I made for the thing, and to make sure that they're up to date with whatever's in the game. To make sure that so that we start using the tool. But yeah, luckily it.
Hold on.
Yeah. I can tell you where the things are, by the way, later. I can show you how it works and so you can test it. But it does everything. It links the properties, it links the values of the properties, it links the card art, the name, everything. Alright, I'm gonna hop off for a bit. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, my mic was muted on the stream the whole time. No.